And someone who else is good at that is Elon Musk, who has now even made more headlines talking about a third party and how that gamble could succeed, as Politico puts it. Now, they talk about that Musk's plan can only work if he learns from the most successful political disruptors, including Trump on the right and Bernie Sanders on the left, and identifies places where both political parties are neglecting the real preferences of voters. This means not finding a midpoint on a left-right spectrum, but rather seizing issues beyond the standard D versus R menu. Now, arguably, you could say, well, is Elon Musk doing that? Is that what he's trying to do with this proposal for a third party? But we know Andrew Yang's on board, right? He's telling Fox News, I'm excited for anyone who wants to move on from the duopoly, and I'm happy to help give someone a sense of what the path looks like.
You know, I kind of think this is kind of funny. I take exception to Politico's characterization that somehow Bernie Sanders has been a success. I don't know that he has been a success.
That's right.
But the problem for Elon Musk right now is that we already have a third party. It's called the Republican Party, and Donald Trump took it over and completely remade it. So the idea that Elon Musk, and with help from Elon Musk even, I'm really sort of doubtful that this is going to make a big difference.
Splash.
So that's such a salient point, Charlie, because if you go back to 1992, Ross Perot got 19% of the popular vote because people were disillusioned with the two parties, because there wasn't enough emphasis, and I'm paraphrasing here, but there was a push for the economic issues that Americans were struggling with, and neither party was paying attention to. That was the driver. There were other things, but that was a big one. And President Trump got reelected by identifying exactly the things that the American voters across political lines cared about. Not just the economy, which he's now got his plan going forward, but also the border security. And it doesn't, I am fascinated to see where it goes, but it's hard to imagine the political desire, appetite for an alternative even exist after what President Trump has done to refocus and reimagine the Republican Party.
Well, that's the point. There isn't one. There is zero appetite for someone coming in and fracturing further what has been unified. And when you talk about those issues, I mean, Bitcoin and pro-Second Amendment, welcome to the Republican Party. I think it's better likenable under Trump. It's better likenable, I think, to the Tea Party, where you commit to the brand and then you do your work to try to influence others to vote on legislation and policy a certain way, but you do not introduce a separate identity so that we can all be civil. If anyone gets that reference. You guys remember that horrible book?
Yeah.
Schizophrenia. Anyway, the whole point is it needs to stay under this. So hopefully they can find a way to become good stepbrothers again and not fracture us further.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.